The following broadcast is brought to you by Public House Media.
Hello! Welcome to Choose to Rise, housed here on Public House Media. I'm so glad that you're here to give a listen. My podcasts are audio pulled from my live Facebook posts every single morning, where I share other healthy living tips, motivational information, and connect with people from all over to live their life as their very best self. If you like these messages, I hope you tell a friend about Public House Media and my podcast so we can spread more positivity around the world. Thanks for listening. On with the show. Good morning. How's it going today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Kim Meyer. I'm the founder of Choose to Rise. Here on Facebook and the team Rise and Fit, and I am just so excited that you're here watching and listening, whether it be here on the live video or in the podcast version. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you to Public House Media. I'm very blessed to get to work with them and to be able to spread my voice farther in ways that wouldn't have been possible before. So thank you to them. Today I want to talk to you about how to form new habits. And a lot of things that we talk about on here are like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, but like, how do you actually make that work, right? And so how I say have these habits, do these things, but in order to make it a habit, you kind of have to know how to get there. It's kind of like saying you should do XYZ, but not really tell you how to get there. And so you should go to this place, but not give you directions. So we're going to talk today about how to form new habits. And it's, if you're tired of making goals and not achieving them, the tricks are really just small, simple steps to get there. You can incremental things like we talk about in the Compound Effect with the book Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. One small change compounded over time gets you to new things. So when you're trying to form a new habit, you need to find things that are related to the goals that you're setting, and then turn that success into just break it down into small daily actions. And so the first thing that you do is focus on one new habit. Trying to change the world or change your world with lots of sweeping changes is overwhelming and it's hard to stick to. So I would say focus in on one new habit. It's important to work on only one habit at a time, and that way you can store your willpower and it can be channeled to just one thing. Completing that one habit, getting good at it, and then increasing the next thing. And this will increase the odds that you're actually going to be successful because you're going to be able to put your energy and all of your time and focus into this one thing to get good at it and make it a habit before moving on. And then 2 is commit for a minimum of 30 days. So when the length of time of something that you're trying to create a new habit is important. If you're trying to do it for 3 days, that's not long enough. It's just one of those kind of short-term things. But if you really want to commit to something, if you really want to make it a habit, you've got to give it some time. A lot of people say that it takes 60 days or 30 days to make a new habit. And that is true. You have to stay consistent with it. And so if you are wanting to get in some extra steps, maybe it's parking all the way to the end of the parking lot for 30 days. Give it a whole month and see how much you're able to change the amount of steps that you're getting a day. If it's that you want to give up pop, give it up for a full month. You have to get past that initial stage of oh my gosh, this sucks, and get it into what you're able to see the benefits on the other side of giving up the item, okay, or doing something else like that. The minimum that you can set for yourself is 30 days. So whether it's fitness, whether it's language, whether it's food, whether it's moving more, whatever it is, make sure that you are committing to it for a full 30 days. That's one of the reasons why a lot of our groups run for 3 weeks, or 21 days kind of sometimes creates a habit, but sometimes you do them for a full month. Staying engaged with a group of people is also another great way to do it. 3, anchor your new habit in an established habit. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday. One of the things, the should with the would, match those two things together. So anchoring your new habit into an established habit. So if you, like the parking lot thing, as I was saying, if you want to get more exercise in, park farther away. You're already driving to work. So instead of, where you park in that parking lot, create a new habit of parking someplace else and walking farther in. When you get home from the day, establishing a new habit might be doing having something prepared for you so that when you get home in the day, you have something to eat. Anchoring what you're already doing with something else, the new thing, will help you get there faster and stay with it. Number 4, take baby steps. Creating a micro commitment where it's impossible to fail. It's more important to stay consistent and not miss a day than it is to hit a specific milestone. So if you have a low level of commitment, you're more likely to get started on it, and you're more likely to stick with it. Because if you feel like I need to lose 50 pounds, that's hard to stick with when you're not seeing instrumental growth along the way, or loss, I guess, along the way. But if you are, your goal is, 50 pounds, but you're going to break it down into smaller chunks of about a pound a week, or, a pound every 2 weeks, that's going to definitely be more doable, and you're going to be able to get where you want to go faster because you're taking baby steps to get there. Sometimes when you take leaps and bounds, it's not as concrete because you've gotten there faster. Those quick fixes don't work. Slow and steady wins the race, right? So making those staying commitment and doing it every single day is going to help you get there faster than if you just take leaps and bounds and then fall off the wagon. Number 5, make a plan for obstacles. Be prepared to anticipate the obstacles will happen, because if you are trying to do something new, this universe will try to throw you off. This happens many times. We are in week 2 of some groups with some people, and we are in week 1 with some others, and I guarantee that at this end of this first week with some of those people, they're going to be like, hey, I've sucked this whole week, awesome, I'm going to do something, I'm not going to do my workout today because I've worked out all week long. Well, guess what? That's going to be harder to get back on the wagon on Monday when it's time to start up again. So staying consistent and going through it and planning for the obstacles, having a plan in mind, having something to say when those come up. We talked about that the other day. If things are going to come up, you need to have a plan of what in your head of what you're going to do when those things come up that are going to try to sidetrack you. You have to connect with your why. How important is it for you to actually do this? What is it that you're trying to achieve, and what can you do to sidestep the problems that are going to come directly at you? Number 6, create accountability for your habit. Track your efforts, make it public declaration, join in with people, create a group of people surrounding you that you can help support you in the things that you're doing. Join an accountability group like the ones that we do. Get together with people that are like-minded. Get with people that want to do the same things. Wherever you're going to get commitment and where you're going to be observed by others. So, keeping it quiet. Like when I originally started this journey, I didn't really want anybody to know that I was doing this journey because I was afraid of failure, and I was afraid of what they would think of me if I failed at this. And, one of the best things, it was easy for me to fail when I wasn't telling people. But when I started sharing my story and I started helping other people, and especially when I started helping other people, and really getting it out there that this is what I'm doing, more and more people were aware of what I was doing, and more people then helped hold me accountable to my goals. And that was just a win-win situation for everything else, because that was also inspiration for other people to do things. 7 is reward the important milestones. So even if your big goal is 50 pounds, reward yourself at 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. Even if it takes you for a long time to get to that 50, don't wait to celebrate those things. Celebrate the small things that are along the way. With my coaches and our team and the challengers that are a part of our group, the people that are in our accountability groups, we celebrate the small wins. We celebrate the everyday activities that are going to help you get to your goals. Because when you find joy in the process, you're going to likely stick with it a lot longer. So making sure that you are tracking kind of where you're at in your process, making sure that you're aware of the smaller milestones, and then celebrating the small things, because eventually they become the big things. So make sure that that's important to you. And then lastly, build a new identity. It's better to decide that the new habit is simply part of your identity, and then use it as a small win, as a way to demonstrate that's who you are on the inside. And if you start to believe in yourself that you are this person, or that you are this new way of living, that it is who you are, then the more likely that you're actually going to become it. So one of the things that we did this 21 Keys training here, it's kind of a mindset thing with our staff and with a lot of people in our school, and a lot of it has to do with, it's all self-belief things. But when you believe that you are who you want to become, you're much more likely to actually have it happen. So instead of, when you speak to kids and you speak to others and you say things like, that's just who you are. Like when they do something positive or they're smiling, I love your smile. It's just who you are. I love your positivity. It's just like you to do that. And then same things kind of happen in a negative mindset. If you're talking to somebody, or especially a child or another adult, and that's just like you to blah blah blah, like in a negative way, to yell at me like that, or to think negative like that, then that sets the tone of who they are and sets their identity. So if you can build a new identity in your own head about who you are, and put it out there to the world, and think, like when you are able to not have whatever it is, like stop those cravings or not do the bad behavior, like say you're trying to quit smoking and you're able to not smoke for the day or for whatever, you would normally go out with a break with some people and you don't. That's just like me to be able to resist this. This is just like me to be able to say no. It's building a new identity in yourself of who you want to be, even maybe writing it out of who the person is that you want to become, and figuring out what that will look like, what that will sound like, what that will feel like to be able to be this new, better version of yourself, and then focusing in on those things as you get there. So I hope you are able to develop some good habits with these 8 steps, these 8 pieces of information of how to get there. Hopefully there are some better directions on how to achieve the things that you want to achieve and create the new habits that you want to have. And I hope that you are able to help others maybe in the process. So if this is something that you're interested in, that you want to help spread positivity in the world, if it's something that you want to help support others in the process of becoming the best version of themselves, or you just want some help yourself being the best version of yourself, reach out, message me here on Facebook, reach out to me at kjpmeyer@gmail.com or choosetoriseup@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to help you work through anything that you need to work through, and to just be the best version of yourself. Small steps over time are going to create big things in your life, and I believe that for you, and I hope that you believe that for yourself too. So give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, follow Public House Media as well on Twitter, on Facebook, and I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Share it with others so we can help continue to spread the positivity across this world. Have a great day, everyone. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Please follow Public House Media on Twitter at the PH Media and on Facebook at Public House Media to stay up to date on this podcast as well as many other things happening on the network. You can leave me feedback on my show, and if you have any questions, comments, or new ideas or topics, I would love to hear them. You can also follow me on my social media account, Choose to Rise Up, at Facebook, and at KJP Meyer on Instagram. I hope you have a great day.